What's going on, YouTube? This is Bing147 coming at you with a pickup video. Haven't done one of these in quite a long time. I've been busy with life, work, trying to actually play a few games every now and then. But I had a pretty good week this last week, and I figured I would show it off. Thought about doing my pickups over the last few months, but then I decided I think it's more useful to show a video like of 1 week in the collecting, just to show people an idea of what you can do, what you can get in a week. This has been a good week. This is not the average week, but this has been, I just want to show off what I've picked up. So let's get right to it, so I don't make this video too terribly long. We'll start off with a few online pickups I got. Recently, I actually got a gift card from work for working a bunch of overtime. In addition to the overtime, they gave a bunch of us gift cards. And I used it to purchase a few things I've had my eye on for a while. First off here, we have a copy of Parasol Stars, The Story of Bubble Bobble Part 3. And it is one I've been wanting to get for quite a while, actually. It's a TurboGrafx 16 game. One of the pricier ones I didn't have that I still really wanted, actually. Second Working Designs game I needed, so yeah, it was actually the last Working Designs TurboGrafx game I didn't have. So now I do. That's pretty cool. Also picked up just so you know, that one was, I want to say 52 shipped, I think, which is a pretty good price for it. Also picked up a copy of Cyanide for the Xbox, disc only, off Amazon. I want to say this one was like 17. It's kind of uncommon, not a totally rare game, but really cool. I actually got to play about 15-20 minutes of it. Really enjoyed it. It's kind of a shooter, twin-stick shooter kind of a game. Really enjoyed that. Looking forward to putting some more time into it. Also, with the money from that, picked up a couple of Super Nintendo games. Kind of rough shape, but I got a copy of Axlay for the Super Nintendo. That was 30-something, like 38, I think. And a copy of Captain Commando. Yes, it's got a tear. This one was like 78. A little higher than I would have liked to go, but actually a pretty good price for that one as well. This was a game I actually had in my collection before I sold it off years ago. So it was really great to add that back to the collection. I'm a big fan of the game. I think it's a really good beat 'em up. Probably not worth that purely on play value, but you know, it's got some sentimental value to me, so I decided to grab that. The last one I got with the gift card from my work, and there goes the disc, is a disc-only copy of Thunder Force 5 for the PlayStation, another Working Designs title. Really good title, another shooter. Not the easiest thing to come by. Been looking for it for a good price for a while. I ended up paying 25 or 26 shipped for that one. With a gift card, so no cash out of pocket. But really glad to get that. A couple other online purchases. The week before, I found a copy of Missile Defense 3D for the Sega Master System, and I really decided I wanted to get the 3D glasses so that I could, play it. So I went out and looked for the right auction, and I found a set of them. In the original styrofoam, they were a rental place, cleaned them up real good. These weren't great. The only downside is one of the headpieces, the ear pieces on the glasses are actually broken off. But actually, I think that's better for me in this case, because they only go out this far. Honestly, if the other one was there, I don't think I'd get them on my big head. But like this, I actually can, so that's pretty cool. And I did clean these. They actually fit okay like this. Might want to do something to hold them on my head better if I was actually going to play for any length of time. But these are actually really cool. Really glad to get those. And they actually came with another one of the 3D games, which is Space Harrier 3D. It's sort of complete. It's got the case, which is not in great shape, but it's got the cart, and it's got an old rental manual, the photocopied kind of thing. I was glad to get that. I'm a big fan of the Master System. I love Space Harrier, so having a 3D version of it's pretty cool. One more thing I actually got on. Oh no, there were two more things I got online. I apologize. There's actually a few more things I got online. We'll do this one next, though. Picked up my first repros this week, which, is not a real game. It's a game put onto a cartridge. I would never do a repro of like a actually released game. It's kind of different. I like the originals. It matters to me to get the originals. But for games that were never released in the U.S., it's kind of cool to be able to get a cartridge version and play them on your actual system. These actually, I found a guy who was selling them for very cheap. His only thing is he doesn't print a label for you. You don't get a label with it, so you have to get your own. There's plenty of people like on Etsy and all who sell labels pretty cheap, so I'll get some printed out for these real soon. But right now they're blank. It's a couple of blank cartridges, one Super Nintendo, one Genesis. This is Rent-A-Hero, which is a pretty cool RPG for the Genesis. And this is Bahamut Lagoon for the Super Nintendo, a Squaresoft RPG that was never released here in the U.S. Played that one for a couple minutes, actually. Had a good time at the beginning of it anyway. It's a really pretty game. So I look forward to playing those, actually. We are getting to the end of the online purchases here, but there are a couple more. These kind of go together and kind of don't. I found a guy online a couple weeks ago who was selling a copy of Raiden Fighters Aces for the 360 for a pretty cheap price. It was disc only apparently, but but it was like $5 and it's a really good price for it, so I bought it. Got no shipment notice, no reply to messages for like 3 weeks. And half.com, where I bought it, makes you wait forever to report it. When I finally reported it after 3 weeks, I get a message suddenly that that the Raiden Fighters didn't work, but that the 2 other like 99-cent games the seller had that I decided to add on because it's cheap to add extra items on half, had shipped. He also actually refunded me the whole amount, so I can't complain too much. I did get 2 games for free, but it kind of sucks that he literally ignored my messages for 3 weeks and then didn't even have one of the items, or it wasn't working suddenly. He hadn't tested it beforehand. That was annoying. But I did get 2 games from it. Touch Detective 2.5 for the DS, and Tecmo Bowl Kickoff for the DS. Now, it worked out okay, actually, in the end, though, because while I didn't find another copy of Raiden Fighters quite as cheap, I did find a copy on eBay for less than the total, including shipping, that I'd paid for the 3 games that he refunded me for, of it, which is actually sort of complete. It's former library copy. You can see, it looks like they took the art out of the original case and put it in a generic black case. I don't know why. It's got stickers all over it and all, which is annoying. But the actual artwork, except for, well, no, some of the stickers are on the actual artwork, which is annoying. But it's in good shape other than that. And also, you can see the manual's got stickers all over it, but it does at least have the manual. And shockingly, for a library copy, other than a center circle in the middle, circle sticker in the middle, it's actually in really good shape. Plays great. Really fun game. So I'm not going to complain. I got it for like $10 in the end. So that was cool. Weirdly enough, it comes from a library like literally 15 minutes from me. Didn't realize that when buying it that it was from someone so close. So yeah, that was cool. Last, I think, maybe, no, I've got 2 more online purchases. Ordered a copy also of the Gradius collection off eBay for like $13. It's UMD only, which kind of sucks, but it's one I've wanted for a while. It's probably one of my 2 or 3 most wanted PSP games at this point, so I got it. And the other online one, this is in really rough shape, but it was like $9 shipped, which is a really good price for this. Breath of Fire for the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, the label's trashed, but it is an original. I checked. It's not like a bootleg or anything. Took some serious cleaning, but I did get it working. Save battery still works great. And yeah, it's the last Breath of Fire title in the US, at least I needed. I don't have the Super Nintendo versions of 1 and 2, but I already had the Game Boy Advance version of 2. I have 3 and 4 on the PlayStation. I have Dragon Quarter on the PS2. So rounding out my Breath of Fire collection, so I have all the games available to play at least, is pretty cool. Condition could be nicer, but for the price, I'm not going to complain too much. And yeah, I believe that is definitely it for the online stuff. Now let's get to what I found out and about this week. Stopped into a half-price books yesterday and found a copy of Point Blank, complete for $9.99. It's in really nice shape. I thought about passing on it. It's not an amazing price, but it's not bad. And I've wanted it for a while. I have 3, but I didn't have 1 or 2. Now I just need 2, so that's kind of cool. I'm glad to get it. Same place also actually had a GunCon, which I didn't have. It was $9.99. I had a GunCon 2 for the PS2 in one of my Time Crisis bundles, but I didn't have a GunCon 1, and considering I have like 5 or 6 light gun games for the PS1, it's very good to have. Now I just need to find a cheap TV that I can use to actually play them, because I have a flat screen CRT, which is cool, but it doesn't work with light guns. Same place, same time. Found a couple of Game Boy Advance games that had just been put in. Well, one of them had just put in there the same day, which is probably why it was still there. The other one had been there about a month. I thought they were good prices, though. This is Digimon Battle Spirit 2 for Game Boy Advance, which they wanted $2.99 for. Actually, supposedly a pretty cool game from everything I could find. Not a huge Digimon fan, and it's not an amazing price. It's not an expensive game, but it's not a bad price. Usually I see it going for more like 7 or 8 online, and Digimon games tend to get pricey later. I'm not a Digimon fan, but some of the games are okay, and if it's going to get pricey down the road, I wouldn't mind picking it up and having it out of the way. The other one, this is already a really good price, is Dragon Ball Z Boost Fury, which was $3.99. That one goes for more like 16 to 20 online usually. So that's a pretty good price. I don't know, they must have mispriced it somehow. If it hadn't been same day, it probably would have already been gone, but glad to get that. Then finally today, I hit a couple of thrifts. And the first thrift I stopped into, I picked up 2 Xbox games. One for me, one to make a little money on. First one is Barbie's Horse Adventure Wild Horse Rescue for the Xbox. And the reason I picked this up, it is complete in fantastic shape. Disc is mint, manual's actually pretty much mint. The reason I picked this up is because it actually is kind of one of the rare Xbox games, and it goes online for more like $20 to $25. It was $1.99, so I figured, what the heck, I'll grab it. It's not the first copy I've had in my hands, actually. I found one a couple of years ago at a garage sale, but it is pretty uncommon. The other one, I think I mainly grabbed this because I didn't want to walk up to the counter with the only game in my hands being a Barbie game. But it's actually an okay game. It's nothing great, but it's Conflict Desert Storm. It was $2.99. You can kind of see it there. Which, yeah, not an amazing price by any means, but it was complete, and it's a decent game. I mean, it's nothing great, but I played it a number of years ago, and I had fun with it. Last find there was my best one, definitely. After I already had those, I was walking around some more, and I find this. It is the Logitech SpeedForce Force Feedback Wheel for the GameCube. This was actually officially licensed. It's the only official force feedback wheel for the GameCube. Apparently, games like F-Zero have settings specifically for this wheel, which is awesome. Apparently, it plays great with it. The power cable was actually in here still sealed. And the thing looks mint. I don't know that this was ever even used, which is really cool. The only downside is that because of it, when they put this out, apparently they were trying to bring the cost down because it was kind of a high-end wheel. So what they did is they actually sold the pedals and a lap stick to hold in your lap while you played. They sold those separately for another $30, and they didn't come with them, obviously, which is unfortunate because playing without the pedals is kind of I'd rather have the pedals, obviously, but it's for force feedback wheel. It's still pretty cool to have, and for the price, I wasn't going to pass on it. After that, I ran over to a local game store that's in the same plaza and found 2 Sega Saturn games I did not have. They actually had a bunch of Saturn games, probably 15 of them, mostly in really good shape. Whoever had these took care of their stuff. I only grabbed 2 because they were not priced particularly cheaply. They had Doom priced at like $35. Bug 2 was like 19, which isn't terrible. It's just not good. There were a few others I would have liked to get, but I'd already spent enough this week, so I limited it to 2. First one being Space Hulk. Vengeance of the Blood Angels for the Saturn. This one was only $4.99, as you can see right there, and for there you go. And for $5, I figured, what the heck? It was the cheapest one they had, except for a copy of Myst, and I already have like 3 versions of Myst, so I didn't think it was I needed to grab that, but they were the only $5 ones. The other one was $13.99 for a game I had on the PlayStation years ago and really liked, which is Pandemonium. It's not a great game, but it is very decent, and you can see right there, $13.99. It's and this one's mint, like really fantastic shape. Disc is great, plays great. I trusted it out. Really glad to get that. The only downside, neither of them had the foam, which I would have liked if they had it, but other than that, they're in great shape. And just really glad to get these. You don't see Saturn games this nice shape all that often. Last game I picked up, also while I was there, is this one for the Super Nintendo, Nindo Way of the Ninja, which is actually a RPG for the Super Nintendo. It's from Koei. I would have thought more like a strategy game or even action, but now traditional Japanese style RPG, which is really cool. They only wanted $6.99 for it. It's usually more like a $15 to $20 game, so that was a pretty good deal. I'd never seen it before either, so I was pretty happy to get that. Everything I can find on it says it's pretty much a decent RPG, nothing amazing, but pretty good. And the save battery still works. Saves are still on there. So, very cool. Glad to add that to my collection. Alright, well, that was it for the last week, because it was a very good week. Did pick up some really good stuff, both for myself and also to flip to put into more stuff, which is always cool. This is Bing147 signing out. Thank you for watching.